Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chetna and this is my data world where we discuss about data science, analytics and product. In this video, I wanted to pitch ChatGPT against Gemini on 3 most common Gen AI tasks and look at which one gave the best output in terms of user experience, in terms of the quality of output, so that I can finally tell you which one my favorite is. So let's get started. The tasks I would like to pit ChatGPT and Gemini against are firstly the content writing, which is the most common generative AI use case. And then I would go on to compare role playing, which is I give these generative AI models a role to play and then ask questions, and the generative AI models are expected to respond to my queries assuming those roles. And finally, I'm going to also do travel planning, which means that I will ask for a particular itinerary with details in it, and we'll look at which one gives me the most holistic travel plan. Then I'll compare the performance of each model, each of these tasks. Well, I'm sure all of you are already aware of the ChatGPT UI, but for those who are new, this is what the ChatGPT UI looks like. The landing page itself shows ChatGPT logo with a message saying, "How can I help you today?" And then it has a few ready-made prompts like create a charter, create a personal web page for me, explain why popcorn pops, suggest fun activities. These are prompts just to get you started with how to interact with ChatGPT. Let's now look at how Gemini looks like. And this is what the landing page of Gemini looks like. From first impressions, I can say that I like the UI of Gemini a little better. It is more spacious with very easily readable text. Of course, like ChatGPT, it also comes with a few predefined prompts like what are tips to improve public speaking skills, suggest a Python library to solve a problem, create a 12-week study plan for learning a new language, help create a weekly plan for 2. So in terms of the landing page, Gemini and ChatGPT have very similar features, but I like the look and feel of Gemini better. But let's see how they perform in the tasks. Let's get started with task 1. The first task is content writing. I'm going to ask both ChatGPT and Gemini to come up with a 200-word essay on the impact of generative AI on the job market. My prompt for that would be, please write a 200-word essay on the impact of generative AI on the job market. I want to copy it and paste the same in Gemini to compare results. This is the essay that ChatGPT has given. So it says that generative AI has rapidly been reshaping the job market. One of the most significant impacts is the automation of repetitive and mundane tasks. The shift has led to a restructuring of job roles where skills like critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity are increasingly valued. That looks like a very relevant point made by ChatGPT about the impact of generative AI on the job market. As people say, you will not be replaced by AI, but by a human who knows how to use AI. It also says that the widespread adoption of generative AI has also sparked debates about ethics of automation, income inequality, and the future of work. These are also very pertinent concerns about generative AI, and laws are being discussed and passed around these specific topics. I think this is a job well done by ChatGPT. Now let's look at how Gemini will fare. Now I'm going to paste the same prompt in the Gemini window and look at the quality of response from Gemini. So let's do that as well. I really like the way Gemini has come up with the output. It has positives and slightly negative or neutral ones highlighted in relevant colors. It also has a good title given. So I kind of really am impressed with the amount of effort that Gemini has put in this task. So the title is The Double-Edged Sword, Generative AI and the Future of Work. And then it has a few points such as generative AI is able to help people to create new content, automate tasks, and is poised to significantly impact the job market. On the one hand, there are concerns about job displacement. It also mentions the fact that generative AI can be a powerful tool, augmenting human capabilities and creating new job opportunities. So it also, very similar to ChatGPT, mentions the concerns as well as the advantages of having generative AI. I like the fact that it is very easy to read because already the most important points are highlighted in relevant colors. What I like additionally is there are also relevant search topics that I can, go through and figure out more, references or read more about this particular topic. So I think Gemini has gone one step further. So I would say advantage Gemini. Now let's see what happens to task 2. In task 2, I would like ChatGPT and Gemini to assume the role of an expert nutritionist and personal trainer who specializes in women health, and I would ask them to provide a nutrition plan and a gym workout plan for a woman with certain health issues. So my prompt would be, you are an experienced nutritionist and personal trainer specializing in women's health and fitness. Please provide a 5-day gym workout plan as well as a suitable diet chart for a woman who is 32 years old and suffering from PCOS. That was pretty quick. So let's look at what ChatGPT has come up with. So the first day is cardio and core, and it has a few exercises along with a cool down, which I find very impressive. And then day 2 is lower body strength. Day 3 is active recovery or rest day. 4 is upper body strength, and 5 is full body circuit. I like the fact that ChatGPT was able to identify that it is a human that it is crafting a plan for and made time for an active rest day. And then it also gave a PCOD diet chart where everything is broken down into the meal type. So there's breakfast, mid-morning snack, lunch, afternoon snack, dinner, evening snack. So it's pretty comprehensive. And it also has other dietary recommendations for women who are suffering with PCOS. Now let's look at how Gemini will try to solve this problem. Now let me make Gemini the personal trainer. I'm going to give the exact same prompt and look at the output that Gemini would produce. Now this is interesting. I'm impressed with the idea that Gemini has given a disclaimer with which it actually started the response. It says that while I can provide a sample plan, it is important to understand that I cannot give medical advice without a full assessment. And the reason that it has come up with this disclaimer is because PCOS is a lifestyle disorder, and giving any kind of recommendation without fully understanding the symptoms or the condition of the patient would be counterproductive. So I think Gemini did a good job by actually throwing the disclaimer right there so that any user who wants to actually start following it knows very well what they are getting into. And then it has come up with a 5-day sample gym workout, which is PCOS friendly. Now, it says that this plan incorporates a mix of strength, cardio, and low impact activities to manage PCOS symptoms, which is something that I really liked as opposed to what ChatGPT did. It just came up with a gym training plan and then a diet plan, and then it also gave PCOS friendly reminders. Maybe it was more helpful if it had considered the PCOS part in the training as well, which is what Gemini has done. So in this task, I again see Gemini being the clear winner, but let's go through the whole plan. So it is given a warm up, a cool down, along with what exercises need to be done. Day 1 is lower body strength, and then there is rest or active yoga. Day 3 is upper body strength. Day 4 again is active rest, so yoga, Pilates, walking. And then day 5 is core and cardio. And then it also talks about progression and how a person with PCOS needs to progress with the amount of resistance or the weights that they pick. And it also has given a PCOS friendly diet chart. So the main focus would be on whole, unprocessed food and then low glycemic index, which are really important for someone with PCOS or any kind of hormonal imbalance related issues. And it has also given a sample daily meal, which is really amazing, and then additional tips. So I feel like here as well, Gemini has come up with a more wholesome solution rather than just address the questions point to point. So here again, Gemini wins. 2 out of 3 are already in Gemini's kitty, but let's, for the sake of completion, do task 3 and also compare both the models. The third task is to create a travel itinerary. I'm going to give ChatGPT and Gemini a request for a travel plan for a particular city for a certain number of days with a few constraints, and I'm going to look at which one gives me a more holistic travel itinerary. First, ChatGPT. The prompt I'm going to give it is please give me a romantic couples getaway itinerary for 3 days in Paris, along with the best time to visit and restaurant recommendations. Okay, let's see what it gave us. So, first of all, it has given us the best time to visit, which is spring or fall. And then it talks about the weather as well as a breakdown of what to do each day. There's jam packed, of course. But apart from that, it also has given restaurant recommendations as I have asked it. But let's see if Gemini can do better. Okay, so I'm going to give Gemini the exact same prompt and let's see what it does. Okay, so Gemini has also given us the best time to visit, which is very similar to what ChatGPT has given, spring and fall. But then it also says that the most romantic atmosphere is in winter, which is magical because of Christmas, which ChatGPT kind of missed out on. Apart from that, it also has given a day to day itinerary along with links to Wikipedia about information on each of these monuments that it is recommending. And then it also talks about restaurant recommendations for each day, which is a little more detailed than ChatGPT's was. That is impressive. This time again, Gemini has done a better job than ChatGPT has done because its insights are more comprehensive as well as more detailed in terms of day to day split, along with the Wikipedia links that it has given. So, overall, I think that's 3 for Gemini and 0 for ChatGPT. So now let's look at the final verdict. Now that we've compared the performance of ChatGPT against Gemini across the 3 tasks, I personally feel like Gemini has outdone ChatGPT across all the three tasks. So for me, it was a 3-0. Of course, you might argue that now the paid version of ChatGPT has GPT-4 and that could probably perform better than Gemini. But I would argue that I've used the free version of Gemini and the free version of ChatGPT, and I still see that Gemini has a more superior output, as well as the fact that ChatGPT was not able to come up with disclaimers, but Gemini did, also has won my heart because this allows the content generated by Gemini be less harmful or at least be more safe compared to ChatGPT. Well, that's all for my opinion. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you again in the next video. Until then, ciao!